we go again. So, I think maybe we'll be able to get through the rest of this case today. And after that, we have, unfortunately, the third case of the game, which all of the Phoenix Wright games, or Ace Attorney games, have, I think people call it like the curse of the third case. In every single game, the third case is just dull and drags on. So there's that. But right now, I'm trying to find my little notebook where I put my achievements. Oh, where's that gone? I don't think there's any more achievements until the next case. Oops, my whiteboard. So I think we're all good for now. But oh, here we go. Episode 2, episode 5. Okay. There's a ladder in episode 3, and there's an achievement in episode 3. And then that's that. Okay, let's get going. Oh, I need to take that headphone out. June 22nd, 9:51 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. I also noticed I was watching back a bit of the stream the other day, and every time I mute my mic, it goes really quiet for a while. So just try and avoid that today. Nick? Yeah? Did you know that Von Karma's daughter is only 18? Just like me. Oh, Jesus, she's 18? I'm talking about both Maya and Franziska there. That's quite... yeah, why? I was just thinking about how strong she is. Oh god, my TV volume's quite loud. I mean, she's been in Germany all this time by herself, and she's so grown up. I think in the original Japanese version of the game, it wasn't Germany, it was America. Obviously that wouldn't make sense here. Yeah, and I'm sure she felt a lot of pressure from her father's reputation. And then you look at me and, well, I'm the daughter of the master, but I'm still just a little girl. And on top of that, I'm the suspect in a murder trial. But I think you're really strong too, Maya, for all that you've gone through. Good morning! Oh, I did Pals run here again. The two of you look like you're doing well today. I'm happy for you. Where has Pearls got this notion from? What has Maya been telling her? Like, or is this can't all just be assumption. There's got to be a reason she's thinking like this. Just moving stuff around. Hey, morning, Parley. You'll be safe today, Mystic Maya. Huh? What do you mean? My mother is coming today to show her support. Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Parley. Hey, pals. Yes, Mr. Nick? Do you think you could do me a big favor? Could you channel Mia today, too? Huh? I was sort of hoping to sit in the audience today and watch. Please? It's very important to me. I don't feel confident enough without her help. Mr. Nick, that's enough. You can't show weakness in front of the person you love. Oh, pals. Verily, not this again! Please, can you do this for us, pals? Alright, I'll do it. I'll do it for Mystic Maya's sake. See you later then. I'll leave you to your alone time. Phew. Thank goodness. Nick. This way, pals won't be able to see today's trial. What do you mean? What's going on? Oh, I know what's going on. June 22nd, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 2. Oh, Mia's already there. Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Let's start already. Mr. Phoenix Wright, I look forward to tonight's news with great joy. Oh, she means the news on the TV. The image of your defeated face will be transmitted all over the world. All over the world, huh? Sounds like you've made quite a name for yourself, Phoenix. Don't be foolish, you foolish fool, wearing the foolishly foolish clothes. The famous one is me. I'm the prodigy who has never lost a case since becoming a prosecutor 5 years ago. When she was like 13? Naturally, the world's eyes are on me as I conduct my first trial in this country. Uh-huh. That's nice, Miss Von Karma. Glad to see you're in such good spirits today, Miss Fey. Sure they say women really are scary when they fight. Now then, a very interesting theory was presented during yesterday's session. That the defendant could have left the channeling chamber, correct? Yes. And this key is proof of that. This key, the only key to the channeling chamber, was not where it should have been. Well, if it was in the incinerator with her robes, that implies that they didn't use that key to unlock the door and move her. So there has to be another key. Your Honor, I would like to say one thing before we begin. Alright, let's hear it. The prosecution has determined that from the time of the murder to the time of the arrest, the defendant did indeed leave the room at one point. What? But, Miss Von Karma, then how do you explain this picture? Are you saying then that the person in this picture is not the defendant? I never said that wasn't the defendant. Then what is the meaning of this? All I'm saying is that Maya Fey, after killing the victim, exited the room. And I believe that is when she dropped this key. Can you substantiate your claim? Isn't that what I'm here for? The prosecution would like to call the defendant's aunt, Morgan Fay, to the stand. Oh god. Just as I suspected. Aunt Morgan. Poor Mia. She seems really torn by this. Witness. Name and occupation. My name is Morgan Fay, and I am a spirit medium, in a manner of speaking. I'm sorry, but what do you mean, in a manner of speaking? Gah! I don't think anyone really cares. Now then, after the murder took place, you kept watch over the defendant, correct? Yes, that is correct. I performed the spirit severing technique on Mystic Maya then. Spirit severing technique? A technique to remove a spirit from the body and send it back to the other world. That is. Yes. That is. Ugh. You, be quiet. Now, witness. Something happened while you were performing this technique, correct? Yes, that is correct. What in the world could have... Mystic Maya, she escaped from the room. What? And here we come to the heart of the matter. Maya Fey, while in a possessed state, managed to escape from the channeling chamber. Order, order, order. Miss Fey, please testify to the court what happened during that time. Your Honor, I will try my best. I think someone just upped the ante on this trial. Okay. After we had the gunshots, those two broke the door open and entered the chamber. I requested that Mr. Wright and the other lady please contact the police. A pistol was hanging from Mystic Maya's hand and she was in a daze. Then, quite suddenly, she thrust me away from herself and escaped the room. With great strength, she hit the base of my neck and I fainted for a short while. I'm afraid I have no knowledge of where she went after that. Why have you hidden this until now? I was trying to protect her. I did not wish to cause more trouble for Mystic Maya, yeah. However, I must correct falsities that when they arise. That's right. She is simply correcting a falsity, Mr. Phoenix, right? Why is she making it a point to take a stab at me? Never mind. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. My aunt is a very smart and sly person. It's going to be hard for us to find a crack in her testimony. I guess I just have to press on everything because I have no real idea. Okay, after we had the gunshot, yep. Just now, you said those two. Who are the two people you're referring to? Well, she already said. I was referring to that foreign lady and yourself, good sir. Lotta's not a foreigner, despite how she talks. She talks with a Southern American accent. I'm guessing is what they were going for there. The dialect makes it seem Southern American. But yeah, this is Japanifornia. It's its own country. Oh, is that so? I'm sorry. I simply could not understand her atrocious English. Not to mention, she looked awful. I can already see people in the Heartland gearing up for a riot. In any case, I've already sent the repair bill to your office, Mr. Wright. Oh, thanks. What did you do after that, Miss Fay? I requested that Mr. Wright and the other lady please contact the police. See? She did already say. Press! Was it really necessary to have two people do something so simple as call the police? If there was a possibility of escape, then one of us should have stayed behind. Yes, that is a very good point. One second. Ugh, my phone. My phone goes weird when the charger's plugged in. It just doesn't work properly. Like, I can't scroll up and down on pages or open or close a tab, and sometimes the buttons on your keyboard don't work properly. I have no idea what that is. What am I doing? Okay. At that time, myself was a little confused. On top of which, there was another what, madam? Oh, it's nothing. No need to concern yourself. I want to hear the end of that sentence. Question further. There was another reason you wanted us both out of that room, wasn't there? You must testify. Why did you chase us out of the room? I simply did not wish for there to be more victims. The lives of both the good sir and the camera woman may be in danger, is what I thought to myself. Well, that was very noble of you, Miss Fay. Now this is bad. Now people have a good impression of her and a bad one of us. Looks like she caught us napping. That's my aunt for you. Are you satisfied now, Mr. Wright? Miss Fay, please continue. A pistol was hanging from Miss Meyer's hands. She was in a daze. During our investigation, you stated that you struck the defendant on the head, and this strike caused Maya to lose consciousness. Do you stand by this statement? I'm afraid I don't. The statement I gave you was a lie. Well, that's perjury. But why would you lie about something like that? It is very painful for me to say this. However, the witness was lying to cover for the defendant. She was covering for Maya? Question further. So you were covering for the defendant? Well, yes. It was only later that I was informed of what had occurred. That the renegade mystic Maya had done something very unexpected. What? Something unexpected? What, pray tell, did she... Ooh. This witness didn't and couldn't have seen what happened. If you want to know what this unexpected thing was, there is always later. Yes, very well. What? Why does it suddenly feel like there's a rock in the pit of my stomach? Now, witness, continue with what happened. Then, quite suddenly, she thrust herself away. Press. Is it really that easy for her to escape from you? I'm ashamed to admit I'm afraid to admit such a thing. However, yes. But you are physically larger and stronger than the defendant. There is no way she could have escaped from you so easily. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Phoenix Wright? What about this picture? Remember that at the time, the defendant was not physically Maya Fey. Oof. Growing old is such a mysterious thing. Trust me, I know firsthand. Basically, Mystic Maya's body was still that of the nurse she had called. But if she had run away, wouldn't you have given chase right away, except she hit her over the head? Well, yes, I would have. However, she hit me over the head. You fainted? I became dizzy and then collapsed onto the floor. How long were you unconscious? I'm not sure. About 10 minutes, perhaps? How long did it take us to call the police? And the defendant almost certainly went somewhere in that time. Happy? Witness, elaborate on that point for us. I'm afraid I had no knowledge where she went after that. But you found her again. Is that because you were unconscious? Why, yes. Great. Well, now, question further. So while you're unconscious, you have absolutely no idea where the defendant went. I would think that's obvious, good sir. If that's true, then how can you know for sure that the defendant left the channeling chamber at all? Now that you mention it, I have to wonder myself. It's true that this witness is not able to confirm this, but the key word here is this witness. What do you mean by that? It means she has another witness up her sleeve, that's what. It looks like Miss Von Carver is ready to move on to her next witness. Who? From what I can tell, there is nothing wrong with this witness's testimony. And from what she has said, we can establish that my fae did leave the chamber. I hope this isn't going to come back and bite us in the butt. Now, let's take the next logical step and ask, where did the defendant go after leaving the channeling chamber? They got someone to say, I saw her throw those robes in the incinerator and burn them, or some shit like that. Yes, that is exactly what should be. Be quiet, you. Now then, what the escapee had done was she had gone to speak with a certain person. She went to speak with someone? Oh, it's gotta be eeny, meeny, miny, mo. She's the only other person who hasn't been on the stand yet. What's it? The prosecution calls Miss Eeny, Meeny, wait, what? I think you can do it this headed. That was going without me pressing any buttons. Witness, name and occupation. Okay, so my name is like Eeny Meeny. I'm like researching like parasitology stuff with you. Why is this skipping without me saying? It's like, I guess most people call it occult stuff. Even if that's what most people call it, I can't say I understand what that means. Then I suggest you go home and research it yourself. Yes, sir. Now then, Ms. Eeny, after the murder took place with the defendant, you spoke with the defendant by fae. Okay, stop skipping now because I pressed the button. I don't know why it's doing that. After the murder took place, you spoke with the defendant by fae. Is this correct? Well, like I guess. If that's the case, then let's hear your testimony. That is alright, isn't it, Your Honor? Yes, sir. I don't know why it was skipping. It does that sometimes, like, especially when old bag's speaking, she goes off on a rant. But that's, like, the point. It's the comedic effect of it that she's speaking so fast. But I don't know why it was doing it there. For the love of all things good, Your Honor, have some spine, for my sake. Like, when the channeling started, I was, like, sleeping in the side room. Like, a little later, someone came into the room, like, really suddenly. It was, like, oh my god! Totally my sister. I, like, hadn't seen her in, like, so long. I was so happy in, like, a sad way. My sister, she, like, told me something, like, totally terrible. Which was? Now, hold your horses, young lady. You're saying that the person that entered was your sister? Yes, remember, she was channeling a spirit. The spirit of her sister. Don't you mean the defendant, Maya Fey? Really now, Your Honor. Maya Fey was still in the middle of channeling at that time. Are you saying that the spirit was the spirit of this witness's sister? Yes, Mimi Miney. She was a nurse at Dr. Gray's clinic. Oh, this is witness. Like, yeah? In your testimony, you mentioned a terrible thing. Why don't you tell the court what this terrible thing was? I'm sure we'd love to hear about it. Like, do I totally, like, really have to? Of course. Ms. Money, please. My sister, like, this is what she said to me. It was no accident. I was drugged with sleeping pills. I was murdered by that person. That's why I took my revenge. It's only fair, isn't it? Amy? She took her revenge? Are you sure that's what she said? Yes. There. Are you satisfied, Your Honor? I still can't believe it. I can't believe that a spirit would go so far as to use a medium to get revenge. It's a bit hard to swallow. However, all the evidence and testimonies point to this as the truth. The end. What do you think, Mr. Wright? Certainly seems like all the loose ends are accounted for. This testimony just now, was it all made up? Was it just one huge lie? Of course it was Phoenix. Stop reading my mind. Of course it was Phoenix. Mia, what do you mean? It's well constructed, but that's all it is. But even the most well-spun lies can be undone. You can do it, Phoenix. Let's find that one loose thread and unwind this tapestry of lies. Your Honor, there is room for doubt, so the defense will cross-examine this witness. We believe that our cross-examination will reveal the truth behind this murder. Yet again, the foolish fool spouts out more foolishly foolish drabble. I wonder if you'll make this one more entertaining than the last. Like when the chanting started, I was sleeping in the side room. Yes. Was that because of your sesame allergy, was it? Like, that's right. I think there was sesame seeds in the lunch they served that day. I had this premonition that it was going to totally be a seedy day. Yes, indeed. I see. Okay. Am I the only one who's missed the boat here? Anyway, so you were taking a nap. Did something happen while you were sleeping? A little later, someone came into the room real suddenly. Do you know the time? Like maybe a little before 11 a.m. Something like that, I think. 11 a.m.? Yeah, my stomach is totally ready for food. No, I think you misunderstood me. I'm not asking what time it is now. I meant what time was it when when the someone came into your room? Oh, so like that's what you meant. Like you should have been more like clear about it. Sorry, my bad. No, it's okay. Like it's really. That's it? Why'd you stop mid-sentence? Did I? So, like, what was I talking about again? Never mind. Witness, about this person who entered the side room. It was like, oh my god, totally my sister. Are you absolutely sure? I guess? You guess. Was it or was it not your sister who entered? Like, I don't know. I mean, like, I totally don't know your sister at all, Mr. Smith. What? First off, my name is not Mr. Smith. Second, I am an only child. But more than that, she's managed to mess up the question with her answer. Well, Mr. Wright? The defense rests. Well, that was a colossal waste of our time. Now then, witness. How did you feel when you saw Miss Mimi Miney? Like I hadn't seen it in so long, so I was like happy in a sad way. You were happy in a sad way? Yeah, like, I mean, it was my sister. Or was it? You weren't sure. But wouldn't most people react here with surprise at seeing a dead loved one alive again? But, like, maybe if I was, like, someone who didn't know about, like, the occult, but I, like, know all about the Korean channeling technique. The point here is the witness immediately recognized that it was her sister. Yeah, like what she said. Should I drop this line of questioning? Ooh, no, question further. So you really didn't think anything strange of the whole encounter? No. Like, there wasn't any reason for me to, like, think anything was strange. But, ow. Don't keep badgering her. You know the phrase objection? Could you try using that once in a while? Mr. Wright? This question of what the witness felt when she saw her sister. Is it really that important? Oh, yes. It's very important, although I haven't quite figured out what it is yet, I should say. But I've got to bluff for now and make it seem like I know what I'm talking about. Alright, Mr. Wright. Miss Miney, please amend your testimony. Like, okay. I'm like totally cool with that. Amend it to say what? I wasn't like scared at all, and like her costume looked totally normal. So there was nothing odd at all about your sister's appearance? Like, yeah, nothing was like weird. Huh. Maya's talking to herself like she's found something wrong. Mia. I'm trying to think. That's impossible. Like, is everything okay? Can I, like, go on? So something here. I can't press, well, I can press, but that's all it gives me. Her costume. Oh, her costume looked totally normal. It was covered in blood, wasn't it? Yeah, it was covered in blood. Normal? That was a very well spun lie, Miss Eni. Well, whatever I did, I was right. I'm assuming it's because it was covered in blood, and that would not be normal. What are you babbling about this time, Mr. Phoenix Wright? It's well constructed, but that's all it is. Stealing my lines now, are we, Phoenix? Ms. Miney, may I remind you of what you said? You said that there was nothing strange about your sister's appearance. Like, yeah, and? But I don't think that's what you were thinking at all. Take a look at this picture. This is a picture of the sister you met. I would think that even you would be surprised if someone appeared before you like this. The blood spray. Ms. Miney, why did you not include the blood you saw in your testimony? If you were really testifying and not lying, you would have noted it right off the bat. Oh, I'm getting to her. Order, Miss Miney. What is the meaning of this? No response. Ms. Miney? I'm thinking, don't interrupt me. Oh, shit. That... What are you stammering about, Your Honor? Well, that witness, her personality did a complete 180 there. It did yesterday when we were talking to her as well. Lots of people do that when they get on the stand, though. First of all, calm yourself, witness. Like, I'm sorry, I, didn't mean to snap. Now, hurry up with the testimony. Okay, we'll just get back to the testimony. If you please. Ugh, it still looks a little shaken up. A lot of help he's going to be. Oh, after the murder part 2. Like, the side room was, like, kind of dark, you know? So, like, the costume is, like, purple, right? The blood totally blended right in. And I, like, persuaded my sister it wasn't, like, right to do something like that. Well, okay. And then, like, I took my sister to the channeling chamber. Why? Yes, now I see. And you have given us a clear reason for why you didn't notice the blood. You think? Like, thanks, Gramps. Are you satisfied, Mr. Wright? No. Alright, I guess not. Very well, you may question the witness. I guess we're pressing again until we get something. Really? Because I thought it was pretty bright inside that room. Don't push your subjective opinions onto this court. It's not really subjective. It was broad daylight. There's not really curtains. Like, that's right. Excuse me, but how is my statement any more subjective than Miss Miney's? You're such a hopeless cause. Witness, you may feel free to ignore this trite little man. Like, okay. Can't breathe. Let me out of here. So the costume is like purple, right? The blood totally blended in. You didn't see the blood. Like, yeah. But she must have had the gun with her at that time as well. That's, Are you going to tell me that you didn't notice the gun the gun either? I, like, totally didn't. All I was looking at was, like, her face. Huh. Continue. And I persuaded it wasn't right to do something like that. And what did your sister, Miss Mimi Miney, like? And what was your sister, Miss Mimi Miney, like at this time? Well, she was like totally flipped out because she just shot Dr. Gray. But I think like she knew. She like said she did something really bad. And like she said she wanted me to go she wanted to go with me to like apologize to Ms. Morgan. Did Mimi's spirit really say all that to you? Like, yeah. And then I took her to the channeling chamber. Was your sister calm by that time? Like, I guess so. I guess maybe like taking her revenge on Dr. Gray like made her feel a lot better. I'd like to feel a lot better too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The sooner the better. She says with her whip at the ready. And like, Miss Morgan was the only one in the channeling chamber, you know? May I ask you one more thing, Miss Miney? Like, sure. Was there anything you found strange, unusual, or just out of place? Something out of place. Huh. Like, what do you mean? When you... were in the side room. Going to the crime scene and arrived at the crime scene. Was Pals not in the... Would Pals not seen them? I'm talking about when you were going to the channeling chamber, of course. Like, no, nothing strange. Also, you would have seen the blood at that point. She answered rather quickly. Now what? Press harder? Think harder. I know you can remember something. I, like, totally can't. That's not good enough. You have to explain yourself clearly to this court. Do you think, Mr. Wright, that whether or not there was something odd on the way to the channeling chamber is at all that important? Well, I think it's weird because Pearl was out in the courtyard area, the winding way. And she would have been fixing the urn at that point. So yeah, they would have seen that. I ask it because it's very important. Not that I know where I'm going with this. Very well. Ms. Miney, if you will, please include a statement about this in your testimony. Like, I don't get why, but okay. Yep, see, I didn't, see anyone on the way to the chamber. But you did. You saw, should it be Pearl or the urn? I'll try Pearl. You say that you didn't see anyone on the way to the channeling chamber. Oops. But that, however, that is impossible. Like, what do you mean? I'd like to introduce someone to you. This is Miss Morgan Fay's daughter, Pearl Fay. Interesting. You have a semi-intelligent look on your face. So, what about this child? It just so happens that at the time of the murder, Pearl was playing in the center garden. The garden? Yep. Which means anyone walking through this area would have to have seen her. So, Miss Miney, what do you have to say to that? Ooh, no. As the court can see, she's a bit of an airhead. Also, she was leading her sister at that time. Do you honestly think she would have noticed a simple child playing? Preposterous. It's not preposterous, and I can prove it. What sort of foolish... There's no way someone walking along the winding way could not have noticed Pearl because the broken urn? This urn is my proof. An old cracked clay pot? What's this going to prove? Do you know why it's cracked? It's because Pearl broke it. That's why. She broke the urn. Ow. Why do I feel like you're about to ruin my beautiful day? Because I am. This urn was broken around the time the channeling started. And Pearl was the one who put it back together. While sitting right in the middle of the winding way. What? Mm-hmm. Ms. Miney? Pearl was there in the winding way at the time. She was hard at work putting the pieces of the urn back together, you see. If you couldn't see that while you were walking, I'd have to declare you legally blind. Grrr. I think I have sufficiently proven one thing, Miss Miney. You are a masterful liar. Mr. Wright, you need to watch what you say. The one who needs to watch what she's saying is the witness. So, Miss Miney, tell us the truth. About what? About what? About where you really were at the time of the murder, of course. The witness just testified about that. That's right. I was, sleeping in the side room. Can I really believe her? Was she really sleeping in the side room? No. Your lies end here. I also remember she wasn't. What do you... The witness states that during the actual murder, she was asleep in the side room. And I say that's not possible because there is clearly a contradiction here. A contradiction? Where is that contradiction? Help me, Mia! In the evidence in her testimony... Well, her testimony, there was a contradiction. Because she didn't see Pearl, so she didn't walk with her sister back to the thingy room. Did I press the right one there? Oops. Earlier in your testimony, I meant to press on in her testimony, so I hope that's what I pressed. Ms. Miney, you made the following statement. And, like, Miss Morgan was the only one in the channeling chamber, you know? It's true that at the time, both myself and Miss Hart were not there. We've gone to call the police. So, what does that, like, have to do with anything? It's very simple. Ms. Miney, how did you know that fact? How? I can see that Ms. Fay was the only person in the challenge chamber. However, someone who was asleep in the side room could not have known that. Which means, Ms. Miney, you did in fact go to the channeling chamber. But you didn't go there by way of the winding way. But look at the mana guide map. If one were to go between the side room and the channeling chamber, one would have to use the winding way. Yes, that's right, Your Honor. Which is why I asked this very important question. Where was the witness at the time of the murder? Ms. Miney, please answer the question. Don't ask a question of a baseless assumption, if you please. Well, I suppose since you put it on the table, Mr. Phoenix Wright, you might as well answer the question for us. Where was the witness at the time of the murder? Oh, I know. Now's your chance, Phoenix. Yeah. The only person who could have killed Dr. Gray was Eenie Miney. So now is the time to prove it. Well, if she was the murderer at the time of the murder, she has to have been in the channeling chamber. Ms. Miney was here, of course. What? But that's the channeling chamber. Isn't that the crime scene? Well, yes. That's right. Ms. Miney was at the scene of the crime. Or down. That's what it is. Mr. Phoenix Wright, have you lost your mind? Yesterday's testimony established that only the victim and the defendant were in the chamber when the channeling started. Yes, that is correct. Please explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Simple. Miss Eenie Miney was hiding at the scene of the crime. And I know where she was hiding as well. I was hiding? Where? Like, where was I hiding? It's been brought up a number of times. Back here. Here, of course. Behind the folding screen? Yes. Ah! Kitty, what are you doing? Don't make me say this again. Recall yesterday's testimony. There ain't no way anyone was hanging out behind that folding screen. See, you stupid jerk. Quit being so quick to pin it on me, slimeball. Oh, Jesus. Now, Miss Miney. One so young as you shouldn't be saying... Shut it, Gramps. As if you know exactly how old I am. I'm sorry. Looks like the pipe's about to burst. Guess I should help it along. The witness was hiding behind the folding screen with the help of this box, because they have matching bullet holes. Ms. Miney, how you were able to hide yourself at the scene of the crime is very simple. You were hiding inside this box. That tiny little box? No person could fit in that. Sorry, but your theory has already been disproven. Lotta disproved you when she was hiding in it from me. But that clothing box was in the side room, right? Which means it has nothing to do with this murder at all. That's right. I was sleeping there, so I should know. That clothing box was there in the side room the whole time. Huh, Mr. Wright? Yeah, well, she's saying it was there, but we're saying she was in the fucking crime scene room. So her statement saying, I know it was there because I was there is pointless. Mr. Wright. Do you think you can prove where the clothing box was at the time of the crime? Yeah. And now I present the piece of evidence that will prove this clothing box was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. It has to be the folding screen because I've already presented the box. Take a look at this clothing box. Just so stupid. As if there's any sort of evidence in that whole thing. What on earth? I don't have time for you to sit there surprised. Hurry up and say it already. There's a hole about 8 inches off the ground. A hole about 8 inches off the ground. Where have we heard that before? The folding screen. It had a hole at the same height. That's right. I hope this has opened your eyes to what happened. At the time of the shooting, the clothing box was sitting behind the folding screen, which is why the bullet from the pistol hit both the box and the folding screen. It went through the screen and then into the box. Ms. Miney, you are hiding behind the folding screen, waiting for your chance. Yes, for your chance to kill Dr. Gray. Order. So, what do you say? Then, Mr. Phoenix, right, what about this picture? Are you saying that the person in this photo is Miss Eenie Miney? That's exactly what I'm saying. Miss Eenie Miney, you are hiding inside this clothing box all along. And you wore a medium's costume to masquerade as Maya Fey. To masquerade as Maya Fey? She had it planned from the very beginning. She would kill Dr. Gray and pin the blame on my client. No, stop. I can't stand to listen to any more of this foolishness. If that's the case, Mr. Phoenix, right, then I have a proposition. This whole idea that the witness moved the clothing box to the crime scene, pretended to be the defendant, killed the victim, and then fled the scene of the crime, it's not possible for one person to do all by herself. Correct, it says. Correct. It really is impossible. For one person to do all the preparations, that is. Need I remind you, the foolish receive no mercy. Wait, Ms. Von Karma, you said it was not possible for one person, correct? You can't be serious. Huff, huff. Ms. Miney? You had an accomplice. Oh, boop. That's why he didn't want Pearl there. This person. If it wasn't someone from Korean Village, you couldn't have gotten the costume. And if it wasn't someone from the Faye household, you wouldn't have that box to use. Morgan Faye. Isn't that the wonderful lady witness we had earlier? What do you have to say to this, Miss Miney? Grr. You shot Dr. Gray with your own 2 hands. Do you deny it? Fingerprints? Come on, Squeak. Good boy. Ah! There's still way more to this. I think this is what really happened. The murderer had planted herself at the scene of the crime long beforehand. Dressed in a medium's costume and wearing a wig, she pretended to be the defendant. And then the channeling started. The murderer crept silently towards the other two, both of whom had their eyes closed. First, she drugged Maya Fey with a strong sleeping agent. Then, she stabbed Dr. Gray with a knife. Next, she hid my client inside the clothing box. She did that so she could take Maya's place and frame her for the crime. But that's when something unexpected happened. Unexpected? Yes. Dr. Gray was actually not yet dead. With the last of his strength, he fired a shot at his attacker. And that is why the hole in the folding screen was so low to the ground. The murderer then took the gun from Dr. Gray and... bang. But it has Maya's fingerprints, not hers. Probably gloves. After that, you and the other lady thought to break into the room. Yes, a gunshot is certainly something you wouldn't expect to hear. Which is why, upon hearing the shots, we forced our way into the channeling chamber. Ms. Miney, she immediately covered her own costume with blood. And pretended to be Maya Fey. But that sort of deception would have been easy to see through. Which is precisely why Ms. Morgan Fey chased us out. Please leave this area to me. Go quickly and inform the police. Hurry before there are more victims here. What is one supposed to say? This is the real truth behind this murder. Huh. Who is that, laughing at a time like this? Oh, you simple-minded fools. I'm sorry, but you are still... Are you still by chance evolving? What is it this time? Miss Von Karma? Surely. Of course it was me. Do you really think someone of Von Karma blood would lose due to something this petty? What in the world? Mr. Phoenix Wright, your argument is flawed in one very crucial area. Is it the fingerprints? Or motive? And that is? If this witness is the real murderer, why would she go through all this trouble? Huh? Working together with a medium, pretending to be one, putting on this whole act. What reason would she have to do such a foolish thing? Eh? Well, that's... Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Oh, and one other thing. Why would Miss Eenie Miney want to kill Dr. Gray? Where is her motive? Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to say too. Yeah, motive. I don't have a motive. Yes, you do. You believe he killed your sister. A motive? That's... I can't say she has no motive here. I have to think of a motive now. What is her reason for wanting Dr. Gray dead? The reason you wanted Dr. Gray dead is this. This? Huh. Just as I thought, you bore me with your silly answers, Phoenix, right? Just great. Now even she is calling me by my full name. You think I did this to get revenge for my sister's death? Yes. Because throughout that accident, you suffered a lot of hurt and pain yourself. Don't be stupid. No one has proof that Dr. Gray drugged my sister, right? And you want to say I wanted to take revenge based on nothing? What do you mean by that? See now, stupid Gramps. I'm like going to explain. So like, please listen, okay? It's been over half a year since I was discharged from the hospital. If I like wanted revenge, then like I wouldn't have waited this long. And besides, like the guy that thought of the spirit thing was like Dr. Gray. It was like a total coincidence he asked me about it, you know? She she's back to her airhead persona. However, he's ow pathetic, Mr. Phoenix, right? You failed to support your own theory. The end. I think we have our answer, Mr. Phoenix, right? What Ms. Miney has stated is very true. The revenge plan is overly complicated, and she has no motive in the first place. Furthermore, there is no reason for Miss Morganfay to cooperate with this plan. There is. You don't even have any truly decisive pieces of evidence to demonstrate your point. Tisk, tisk. So many faults, Mr. Phoenix, right? You should really learn your place. Nyeh. What happened? I thought I had her for sure. See? Like, it's just as I, like, told you. I hope you liked your slice of humble pie. Very well. I will now conclude the cross-examination of Miss Eenie Miney. Mia? Your Honor, please allow the defense one more minute. Alright. Oh, that was easy. You can't lose faith here. Have faith in yourself, Phoenix. Squeak, you're in the way. I can't read the TV through you. Mia. Ow, my boob. Ow. No, he's after the mic. Squeak. 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 Stop it. Stop it, you silly. Yeah, why are you trying to purr into the mic? Yes, it does sound like a ridiculously messed up plan for a murder, but squeak. You know, regardless, that girl trained for this crime. Really? Trained? Listen, Phoenix. Everything happens for a reason. Squeak. There is a reason for why she had to kill Dr. Gray. And it is also the reason she had no choice but to kill him in this fashion. Time is up, Mr. Wright. Your final answer, please. If you want to say that you can prove Miss Miney had a motive, then why did she kill the victim in this way? Can you provide the reason? Yes, I can. I'm not totally confident here, but I know that I must press on no matter what. That's right, Phoenix. Only you can do this now. God damn it, Squeak, I've got fur all over my face. I will show and substantiate the fact that Miss Miney had a motive. Ha! Too bad. You're too late. My cross-examination has already ended, after all. Eek. Interesting. I'll let you have your chance, Mr. Phoenix, Wright. What? You're supposed to be on my side. Von Karma only cares about about the perfect win. Yeah, which means you should be on her side. As long as you have the will to fight, I will knock you down, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Ah, that rhymed. And I don't care if you are my witness. So help me, I will throw you out of my way. No way. Very well. The court will take a 5-minute recess. We will continue the cross-examination after we reconvene. Hey, wait a sec. You need to settle down, Squeak. Part 4-1 trial. A Part 4-2 trial. See, that from the first game where it says final day, trial latter 2 is much more useful than Part 4-2 trial. Is it really true about my aunt? I'm afraid so, Maya. There is no way Eni could have killed Dr. Gray by herself. And under the circumstances, there's no one else other than your Aunt Morgan. That's terrible. Why would my aunt... Everything is going just as I predicted, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What are you doing here? Ugh, Miss Von Karma. What are you doing here? Why are you trying to take revenge on Nick? Nick had nothing to do with what happened to your dad. Yes, he did. Don't you have something better to be worrying about? Say, your own situation? Looking down on me even though we're the same age. Are you done yet? You've caused me enough pain and suffering. Not yet. My goal is to defeat you and let the whole world know of your defeat. But even if you do that, it won't bring your father back. Oh, I guess he's already been executed. Whatever. In the meantime, let's bring this match to its conclusion. And then we'll know who the real winner is. Oh shit, straight back into the courtroom. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? Can you prove Miss Eenie Miney has a motive? Yes, I believe I can. Eenie Miney and Dr. Gray have only one point of connection. And that is the car accident 1 year ago. The motive I'm looking for must be there. Ms. Miney, please testify to this court about your accident last year. Huh? I thought, you wanted to, ask about my, motive. I, don't see the point in, bringing up the past. Ms. Miney, if you please. Okay. I totally don't think it'll do any good, but... Sorry, I've got fur all over my face thanks to the cat. And I do not react well to the fur. That was, last year in May. Something really bad happened at, my sister's clinic around then. And, the night of the accident, my sis was totally tired while she was driving. I was, totally pooped too, so I, fell asleep in the passenger seat. I, woke up because of a jolt, and, it was a sea of flames around me. I, opened the door and, got away. I think I've heard of this incident. It was all tabloid shows, day after day last year. Yes, and there was talk about Dr. Gray drugging your sister? Wow! Those were merely rumors. Totally baseless gossip. Yes. Mr. Wright, you may question the witness. Right now, it's impossible to prove that Dr. Gray did, in fact, drug Miss Miney's sister. Yeah, which means I'll have to work this from another angle. Okay, I guess we're gonna just press. Didn't some sort of medical malpractice happen at your sister's hospital then? Yeah, that was in May too. The thing with all the patients dying was May 2nd. And like our accident was like on the 24th. 2 accidents back to back. Do you assume it's just a coincidence? My sis was like totally tired, so that's why, duh. Like something really bad happened. My sister's, yeah, we already said. That was the malpractice incident where 14 patients died, correct? Yeah. What was the cause of the mistake? Like, I heard it was because the medicines, like, got mixed up. That was the fault of your sister, Mimi Miney. Like, no way. Dr. Gray, like, wanted to blame it all on my sis. Interesting. That incident has nothing to do with our murder here. Yeah, it does. Because even she just said then, Dr. Gray wanted to blame it all on my sister, but it wasn't her fault. So, again, that could prove motive. Besides, the police report has already documented that it was entirely Mimi Miney's fault. Which means as far as the real facts are concerned, Mimi Miney is the one who made the mistake. But, like, it really wasn't my sis. My sister was tired while she was driving. She was totally tired? You mean exhausted? Like, she had to talk to the police and, like, was being investigated, like, every day. It was, like, a totally terrible situation. It's no wonder, then, that the car accident happened. Press harder? So then, why didn't you ask to switch places? Huh? Like, what are you talking about? I meant switch drivers. If your sister was so tired, then you should have switched with her. True, true. But I didn't have a license. Yes, you did have a license. This is news to me. I was not aware that you didn't have your license, Miss Miney. Miss Miney, please amend your testimony. I present a photo, her license photo. Like, okay, anyway. I was like totally pooped too, so I felt like, oh no, previous. Like the accident, my sister's totally, I was driving. Wait, oops, I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to go back again. And your sister, what happened to her? Like, I didn't see her. The car was like totally black and there was like a ton of smoke. I like totally had like no clue what was going on. Where's the statement that she amended? This accident happened at night, correct? Yeah, like, it was at, like, 1 AM or so, I think. I had, like, a paper due, like, really soon. So, like, I hadn't slept and was working, like, real hard. So it's because the two of you were so tired that this accident happened. I woke up with a jolt. Okay. I opened the door and got away. Please tell us about your escape in more detail. I like kept wanting to forget that time. So like I don't remember things about the accident in like detail anymore. Well, it's alright, no need to push yourself. I think I like gave an interview after the accident. Like that would probably be the most accurate, you know? If it's that article, then I already got it. I like didn't have my license, so I couldn't take over driving for her. Oh, this is the last statement. So present. Photo license. License photo. Miss Miney, that was a lame lie just now. Wait, what do you mean? I know you had a license back then. This is a photo you took for the express purpose of getting a driver's license. If it's just the photo, then it's not really proof of anything at all, and he's the one going, it was for your driver's license. Just 1 second. Anyway, what is the meaning of this, Miss Miney? That's right. Yeah, I had like a license, but I didn't get it until after the accident. No, you had it. You had it at the time of the accident. Director Hottie, or the guy pretending to be him anyway, said so. What are you talking about? That perverted fake clinic director? What? Are you talking about that perverted fake clinic director? Yes, that perverted fake clinic director. And how did you... Ouch. No one cares. Witness, when did you receive your driver's license? Like, last November. What? November? The accident happened last May. That's a half a year lapse in time, Mr. Phoenix, right? Oh, what the... That's what happened, Mr. Wright. Well, shouldn't it say on the license itself when she got it? At the time of the accident, Miss Miney did not have a driver's license. Ow. Cry, and my whip will accommodate. Anyway, without a license, the witness and her sister could not have switched drivers. I'm, like, glad you get it, but, like, even if I had my license, I, like, don't think my sis would have, like, let me drive. Ow! Don't just stand there humming to yourself. Not you too, Mia. With the whip, and the pain, and the ow. Miss Miney, why do you think you would not have been allowed to drive anyway? That's because I think the situation calls for a more detailed testimony, Miss Miney, if you please. Like, how annoying. Oops, like, sorry, I didn't mean to be mean. Oh, here's the car thing I was talking about the other day. Like, around that time, I was, like, really close to getting my license. My sis was, like, this totally big fan of cars and, like, really valued them. She, like, had just gotten this really shiny, bright red sports car. She, like, would say things like, "No way am I letting a noob drive my car." So, like, that's why I ended up in the passenger seat that night, too. I see. A bright red car for sports. Now then, the defense may question the witness. I'm not terribly knowledgeable about cars, but... So what do you mean by really close? Like, I had one of those permit things. I think that's what they're called. A provisional driver's license. Or a student permit, as they call it in America. That doesn't mean you're close. At least in England, you have to have something like, I think it's 40 hours driving experience before you can take your test. And we also don't get free lessons at school like they do in America. We have to pay for them and they're fucking expensive. I think I got about 6 lessons before I had to stop taking them because I couldn't pay for them anymore. But you definitely, just having a provisional driver's license does not mean you're close to getting your driver's license. You still need a hell of a lot of hours worth of actual driving and knowledge before you can take your test, and stupid little things can make you fail. So, you know. Permit? Wow, the big name lawyer boy doesn't even know what a driver's permit is. Well, this lawyer never had a permit. What? Ignorance is to be whipped. What is with her? All she said in the last few minutes is utter nonsense. So, like, may I continue? My sis was like this total big fan of cars and really valued them. She valued cars? How much would you say she valued her car? Well, like, she'd flip out at, like, a drop of rain. And, like, she would notice if someone, like, touched the car door with dirty hands. In that case, why bother taking the car out of the garage ever? Press harder? Why did she take such special care of her car? How can you say that? It was a brand spanking new car. New car? Like, you wouldn't want to, like, get it dirty, would you, Mr. Lawyer? I would think the cars getting dirty is just another fact of life, but, well, car washes exist. I guess people who really love cars think otherwise. Phoenix, try asking something of more significance, right? Alright. Well, Miss Miney, what kind of car was it? Shiny red sports car. It was a new car. Yeah. She had, like, just gotten it. It was, like, from the UK. Oh, from here. Huh. The UK? Would those have boyfriend's initials? And it was a really special model. I just remembered the car thing. I'm gonna put it ahead it. I'm gonna say what I just remembered here. It's a car from England. Now, a lot of people do not necessarily know this, but falling asleep at the wheel. But she says right there, I was like still half asleep, but I opened the right door and got out. The steering wheel is on the opposite side of the car in this country, so people call it right-hand drive cars. Our steering wheels are on the right side of the car, so the driver's side of the car was the right. And she says she climbed out the right door, which means she got out of the driver's seat. Boom! She'd waited for a whole year for it to arrive. I guess her love of cars would be the obvious next topic. Press harder. I really don't know anything about cars, but I had a feeling this was bound to come up. Your Honor. Yes? Please have the witness append what she just said to her testimony. You mean the part about it being a special import car? Yes. Well, if you like cars that much, then that's not my point. Though to be honest, I don't know what the point is either. Ms. Miney, would you please fix your testimony? Sure, whatever. This new car is like a totally special model from England. Let's press on this. Dot dot dot. I yelled, hold it, pretty forcefully, but I don't actually know what to ask about cars. Ask for the heck of it. So, yes, what am I supposed to pick for a topic? Let's start with this. Why are British cars good? Like, huh? They're expensive and their driver's seat is opposite to our cars here in the States. Well, there, you've just pointed it out yourself. It would seem there is no benefit to owning one. Like, huh? This whole steering wheel on the right side thing, they are really, like, pushing that so you get it in your brain that the steering wheel is on the right side. It's kind of goofy, isn't it? Speak for yourself, man. Although once, during one of my driving lessons, I'd always been terrified because playing in video games like GTA and that, you drive on the American side of the road, and I was always terrified that I was going to turn the wrong way because we drive on the opposite side of the road as well. And one time, we drive on the left side of the road. One time I turned into one-way traffic the wrong way. It was a one-way road, so I was supposed to turn left, and I turned right into oncoming traffic. And I just spent the next, like, 10 minutes going, oh my god, I can't believe I just did that. Oh my god. It was horrifying. But I had always been terrified of doing that. Anyway. What do you know? The sleek shape, the wild way it's out, the feel of the transmission. Okay, she's obsessed with cars. I thought her sister was obsessed with cars. Her personality really changes at the drop of a hat. It's interesting, isn't it, Phoenix? Bit by bit, we're beginning to see the real contradiction behind this case. Yeah, it's who she is. Let's try, I mean, the only thing I can do is present the newspaper. Ms. Miney, do you remember this article? It's an article about the accident. You had said this in it. But I opened the right door and, like, got out. That's correct, isn't it? Like, why are you suddenly asking me about that? Your Honor, which side is the passenger seat? The left or the right? Well, it's on the right side, of course, because the driver's on the left side. That would be it if it were an American car, but it would be the opposite in a British car. Opposite? The two of them were riding in a British car. In that case, the passenger side would be the left side. What do you mean by this? She was in the driver's seat. Ms. Miney, you said that you had escaped using the right side door of the car. But if you were sitting there, then that means you were in the driver's seat. Order! Order in the court! Mr. Phoenix Wright is blabbering nonsense again. Eni said the person who was driving was her older sister, Mimi Miney. Yes, she may have said that, but she also said that she got out the right side of the car, which would have been the driver's side. So that is what Eni said, yes, but that is where her story falls apart. Somewhere, all of us made a big error in our assumptions. Phoenix, it looks like you finally found the real root of this murder. If we connect all the dots, there can only be one answer. I'd like to ask the court a question. Eni or Mimi, who was really driving that night? Oh, it was Mimi. The answer is the one person who had her driver's license, Mimi Miney. After all, that makes her the only person who could legally drive. But you just said the witness, Miss Eni Miney, was the one in the driver's seat. Which leads us to the next question. The next question? Who is the person standing at the witness stand right now? sort of idiotic ruse is this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This witness's name. This witness's name is... Oh. Yes? Oh, what's the one at my door? Oh, I thought you said I couldn't have one. Squeak, move. Squeak, move. God damn it, Squeak. I'm trying. Okay. Jesus, cat, the one time you don't move. Anyway, that was my sister. I'll tell you what her name really is. This witness's real name is... Well, we just answered that question. It's Mimi. Mimi Miney. That is your real name. It makes sense. They said the only way they could put her face, you know, back together again was with that photo. But that doesn't mean that that was a photo of her. It could have been a photo of her sister. Of all the foolish dribble, then how do you explain her appearance? Easy. This witness had severe facial burns when she was admitted into the hospital. So for the purpose of facial reconstruction, the surgeons used a picture. Facial reconstruction surgery? Yeah, it wouldn't have been that good, but you know. This is the picture she gave to the doctors, to her doctors at the time. That's right. It's a picture of her younger sister. No, but Mimi Miney, she died in the car accident. No, she didn't. That's what everyone thought. However, that was not the case. Then the body they found at the crash site. That was the body of the real Eenie Miney. Isn't that right, Miss Mimi Miney? That car accident 1 year ago. The one who died that night was Eenie Miney. Her sister, Mimi, then stole her face and was reborn as Eenie. With this, she effectively erased Mimi Miney from existence. Your Honor, I'm sure you can now see why Mimi had to kill Dr. Gray. What do you mean? What is the meaning of this nonsense? Dr. Gray wanted to call back the spirit of a dead person. Specifically, the spirit of his nurse that died in the crash, Mimi Miney. However, that would not have been possible, because Mimi Miney was still, in fact, alive. And that fact would have been discovered had the channeling been conducted. So this witness had to stop that from happening, at all costs. And that's why she had to kill Dr. Turner Gray? Is that what you're saying? Yes. Before the channeling, Dr. Gray had the misfortune of consulting this witness about communicating with the dead. And in that moment, his fate was sealed. Well, Miss Von... Why did you say my name just now? Looks like I've been unmasked. Unmasked. Witness? That's right. I admit it. My real name is Mimi Miney. That quack doctor, he got what he deserved in the end. And I was so close to finally ditching Mimi too. So close. But why? Why would you go so far as to throw away yourself? To become your own sister? I think I understand why. Mimi Miney wanted her old self to disappear because of this. That's about the malpractice incident. Dr. Gray was right. The mistake was caused by the nurse. A nurse by the name of Mimi Miney. That's right, the person standing before us today. And a few weeks after this mishap, Mimi Miney had a car accident in which she lost her younger sister. The timing couldn't have been worse. 14 patients dying in that incident and her own sister's life extinguished. It was all too much to bear. I found a way for myself to escape it all. The only way. She lost everything in the flames of that accident. Her sister, and even her own faith. This was her last chance. Hi, Sapphire. Yeah, a lot. Back when these remasters first came out, there was a bunch of people that played them, but not so much now or a couple of years later. But hello, welcome. This was her last chance. Her chance to throw away her past and start a new life as her sister. Unbelievable. A plan beyond my wildest imagination. That jerk. If only he hadn't thought of that channeling mumbo jumbo. Mumbo jumbo? Becoming Eni has been the most horrible experience in the world. Spirit channeling, the occult, I hate it. I hate it all. I believe there are still a few unsolved riddles here, such as why did Miss Miney choose to go with such a complicated plan? And why did Miss Morgan Fay agree to help her execute it? Regardless, I believe one thing has been made crystal clear. The innocence of the defendant, Maya Fay. This is preposterous. I'm perfect. Me, Franziska von Karma. I'm going to enjoy the news tonight, Miss von Karma. How about you? It's going to be broadcast all over the world, right? Your defeat, that is. Well, ouch. Ow, ow, ow! Rude! And one more for good measure. Phoenix? Hang in there, Phoenix! Phoenix! This court is a fraud, a sham. Now then. It looks like it will be some time before Mr. Wright regains consciousness. So I will go ahead and pronounce the verdict. Not guilty! Yay! Confetti! Yay. That is all. This court is adjourned. Congratulations, Maya. Yeah, your favorite cat. I like Edgeworth. Edgeworth can be quite sassy as well, to be honest. But yeah, Phoenix has got some sass in him. I mean, there are a couple of... He's really the sort of punching bag for all the other characters. Well, all the prosecutors. It's quite funny. My favorite is when Godot throws his coffee over Phoenix's head. That's really quite funny. Congratulations, Maya. Sis? Aww. It's good to see you, Maya. How are you doing? Sis! Sis. I didn't kill anyone, did I? No, you didn't. It was all just a dream. A really bad dream. You know, sis, in my dream, I smelled a really familiar scent. A familiar scent? I was inside that clothing box, right? That box. That was the box you used to store your clothes in a long time ago. That's right. There's still one thing I don't quite get. What's that? What would have happened if Mimi hadn't shot Dr. Gray? I mean, we broke in because we heard a gunshot. I think Mimi Miney had planned to open the door to the chamber herself. And then you and Lotta would have witnessed quite a scene. A possessed Maya Fey who had just committed a murder. She had planned it down to the smallest detail, huh? Nick! Congrats, Maya. Thanks. Looks like you bailed me out of another jam. Well, you know. But I really don't want something like this to happen ever again. Oh, Maya. Oh, Maya. I'm fine because I have you to help me out, Nick. But every time something happens, I lose someone special to me. First my sister, and now my aunt. Hey, Nick, tell me. Tell me why my aunt went and did something so horrible. Why would she help Mimi Miney with a plan like that? I just don't understand it, Nick. Maya, it's over. Why don't we just let it be? Nick, please, I need an answer. The reason Morgan helped Mimi with her plan was... Would this be it? I know it's because she's pissed off about being part of the Branch family and she wants Pearl to be the next leader. Maybe I present Pearl? Pearly? 4 years from now, a new master will be born into the Crane village. And that person will be you, Maya. And I was gonna play games with my brother. I'll leave this. Phoenix and Edgeworth are gay as fuck. Yeah, very much. They leaned into that gay stuff really hard in this game. I mean, so far Nick's just been going, he's gone. Won't say his name, but also, yeah, the, what was it, uncomfortable feelings and stuff. Yeah, you have fun. But if you weren't there, then the main family's bloodline would disappear. And what would happen then? The Branch family, my aunts. No, Morgan's spiritual power is too weak. The next person would be Pearl's. Oh! Everything was done for her sake. It was also that Pearls would become the next master. Yeah, I can see that. Did Maya say something just now? I think that she was saying, I thought so. Oh. Date and time unknown, detention center. Solitary confinement, cell 13. Oh. My precious pal. You're the only one suitable to be the master of Crane Village. Crane, dear child. I sacrificed it all for you. I helped that brainless nurse carry out her murder and cooperated with that whip-happy prosecutor. It was all to unseat that annoying, witless main family girl. that Maya Fey. But I shall be patient, my dearest pearl. Your time will come. The end. Oh god, case 3. Big top turnabout. Turnabout big top, whichever way you want to say it. And we finished that case. So let's save. And then leave it there for today because we've finished the case. So we can start on the next case whenever. Oops, I did not pause that. Oh, it's still going on in the background. Okay. We'll just close that before it starts.